Hi friends, today is Mother's Day. It's Sunday, May 9th, Mother's Day in the United States. And so on the heels of that video where I just showed you my plant haul, I thought I would take a minute to show you around the yard about where I'm going to be putting the plants that I purchased at Frank's the other day. So without any further ado, let me turn the camera around. All right, I think we'll just come up here and start at this top area. This is where I've put in dahlias, boxwoods. I've got some daylilies here that I planted recently. I don't think you've seen that video yet. I've got my sugar snap peas, my what is that, limelight hydrangea, just a pot of marigolds, and sweet peas over here, and my fairy rose, which by the way is getting ready to pop open. I think here I'm going to put in 2 of these pots of this red basil, I think. And there are several little seedlings in each of these pots. And I think actually I might separate these out and plant them individually because I think each plant will grow big on its own. So I don't think I need to have that little collection of plants in each one of those things. All right, so I think it'll be nice to have, because we have this loropetalum over here, that's that same dark purple foliage, and I think it'll be nice to have some spots of that purple foliage across here in front of all this green. All right, coming down this way, I have one of the salvias is going to go here, and it gets 3 to 4 feet tall is what the package says, and about 1.5 feet or 2 feet wide, so I think that'll be a nice big accent plant in here. That's an annual. Moving down, we got the marigolds, we got the tomatoes, we got the strawberries. I'm going to put one more of those salvias right here, and again it'll get pretty tall, probably as tall as the fence, and it'll fill in that spot back in there. Next to these strawberries, in front of the glads, I've decided to put in some green beans. These are bush beans, and you know, there's no reason you can't put your vegetables right in your flower beds. A little further down the way, I'm going to put in some purple kale. Let's see, what variety is the kale? I forget. Scarlet boar. There we go. So I'm put in some of those here, another set of the basil, and then here I have some autumn joy sedum that I think I'll just stick in here. This is a plant I have bajillions of because they self-seed in my garden, and so I have, I think, 15 of these little quart-sized pots, or even 4-inch, they're not even quart. So I'm just sprinkling these around my garden, and I'll give some away to friends. Here I'm going to put in some Nepeta Walker's Low catmint that I dug and divided earlier in the season. I'll put in a big nice mound of these. This and the sedum are plants that, you know, this year while all these shrubs are low and small, I'm happy to fill in with these perennials. But these perennials, I have so many of them in my garden that in the future when these shrubs are bigger and take over, I can pull these perennials out and I won't really be missing anything. Or if I find another perennial that I like better, I'm happy to just stick it in here. Okay, and then coming around this way, here we are by the arbor and in front of the back fence area. I found some, what is that, Johnny Jump Ups that were starting to bloom. These are my winter sown ones. I just hadn't gotten them in the ground yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick those in. I know they won't last very long into the hot season, but they will hopefully do enough flowering that they'll set some seed and they'll come back here. Here, Bright Eyes Phlox is where these are going to go. Those will get about this tall and it'll be a nice pink and magenta color in front of all this green. All right, and then back in this way, these are some penstemon that I had in the front yard, and I decided to take out of the front yard and pull into the backyard here. So that's where those are going to go. And I think that the red on the center of that green foliage will be a nice accent along with this loropetalum here. Okay, in that little seedling tray back there, that's some status that I have, and it's also some purple bells vine that they're really struggling because I've mismanaged the hardening off process of them. But if I can get them to live, I'll put some of those purple bells vine on this arbor here. All right, and then let's go through here and see what's in the back. Now this is a twist and shout hydrangea, And it has started to set buds for the season, so that's good. On the right side of it, I'm going to put 3 more of those salvia, excuse me. Those are the rock and the blue salvias. And those, again, will get 3 or 4 feet tall. It'll be a nice blue accent right here. That's the China Boy Holly, and it's not really going to put on much more growth this year than what it already has. So it'll be okay for these salvias to be in front of it for this season. Those are annuals, so next year we'll do something different here. Here's another spot where I'm just going to stick in some sedums. These again are Autumn Joy, and so if I'd end up not liking that placement, I can just very easily move it in the future. And then on the left side, here are some more Nepeta Walker's Low that I'm just going to stick in here. Now you may remember that this part of this grass is going to be removed, and I'm going to be putting a rose here on an obelisk, and I'm going to need more perennials in here, but this is just the beginning of it. I just had this left over, so it'll be a nice filler right there. All right, and then coming up around this way, nothing new there yet. That's where I put some daylilies the other day. I don't think you've seen that video yet. And then here are some more sedum. And then this is a bee balm. This is the Panorama Mix bee balm. It's not clear what color those will come out to be, but I'm not sure how much that's going to spread in this season. They will get 2 to 3 feet tall. So I'll probably pull the sedum away from it a little bit. I've got them situated a little bit too tight together right there. Along here, these are some leucanthemum. These are the Real Charmer daisies, Shasta daisies. Let me figure out this focus situation here. Is it going to focus for us? Nope, I guess it's not. Okay. So 3 of these Shasta daisies with the yellow on them. And then back in there, that little quart pot right there, that's just a cutting of mini pearl phlox that I made last year, and it barely survived the winter. So mini pearl phlox does really well for me up by the house, and I'm hoping that it'll do well down here too. This is the globe thistle that I potted up from a bare root a few weeks ago, and I've never grown that plant. I don't really know what to expect from it, but I figured I'd just stick it in here as a place for it to get its start. Okay, coming back through here, I'm going to toss in some of this liriope that I still have left over. All right, and then here's where I'm going to put some of this low ground cover. Actually, it's not so low. It's 12 to 18 inches tall and wide, so it'll be a nice chartreuse bush here. And then behind it is where I've got that campion. And then back in there, what is that? That is hyssop, golden jubilee hyssop, 3 of those. In front of that, this is the cardinal flower, lobelia. This is a calamint, which has frothy white flowers on it later in the summer. I pulled this out of the front yard and pull it back here. This is an agastache, the raspberry daiquiri agastache. It's about a foot tall, and it'll spread a little bit into a mat with, you can see the reddish pink spikes of flowers on it coming along. Okay, and then here, I misspoke earlier. Dave said he liked airplane plants. That's not what he said. He said pterodactyl plants, and this is what he means by pterodactyl plants. So I got those here. I think that'll be a nice pop against the chartreuse of this and the silver of that and the chartreuse back there, and then more red here. I think this will be a nice combo of colors along here. All right, we're moving along up into the side over here. I've got some kale set out that I'm just going to put some kale around in here to pull bugs away from my broccoli, which, by the way, is doing very well. I'm happy with the broccoli. And then up along this way is where I'm going to pop in those 2 ladies' mantles. I have trouble with ladies' mantle in my yard for some reason. I'm going to try it again right here. This is in front of some columbine and azalea, and beside this bottle brush tree and a hosta and violets. More hosta here. Okay, up around this corner toward the patio, I'm going to pop in the superbinas right here, 5 of them. It'll be a nice purple pop along this hosta hedge. And here along the walkway that comes down from the patio, I'm going to use these Dusty Miller as kind of a liner along that walkway. And that'll help at night, especially when you're trying to move around in the yard. It'll help with knowing where to walk. here in this area, this gets hot midday sun during the middle of summer, and so I think it's a great spot to put my pepper plants. I bought 4 habanero pepper plants. I'm going to stick them in here and see how they do. And then there are a few shade plants that I brought up from the driveway. 3 of these heucheras. I'm not sure where these are going. These are not their final location, but I just pulled them up so that I can start thinking about it. I really want something with a deeper red foliage in this area. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but the heuchera will match with it, whatever it turns out to be. And then this is the 2 hostas that I mail ordered. This one is the, what's it called? Raspberry Sundae. It's got red stems and green and white leaves. And then this one is the first blush, and it's the one that's going to have red coloration on the leaves itself. So I'll be thinking about where to site these plants. Back over here is where I'm putting 3 of the 5 goat's beard that I mail ordered. They'll go back in there. I got to weed stuff out of there first, but I think the goat's beard will be fine, at least for this season, in this location. And there are 2 more down on the driveway that haven't sprouted yet. The bare roots didn't do anything, so I'm still giving them some more time to see if they'll come out and grow for me, but so far no good. So goat's beard here. This will get 4 feet tall or so. I think that's close to everything that I've got sited. I do have some things on the table that I'm not sure where I'm going to be putting them yet. This is the 2 citronella plants, or the scented geraniums, and the mosquito plants, and then the 2 bacopas from the different brands that I want to put them into some containers, but I'm not sure where I'll be doing that yet. Okay, so that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day. I hope that you are surrounded by love and expressions of appreciation for everything that you do to put love out into the world. I hope to see you again very soon, and have a wonderful day, gardening friends. Bye-bye.